If you have been struggling with your health and no matter what you're trying to do, you are not getting results, you have to listen in. Because even though you're ambitious and determined and you have this clear focus regarding your health and the life that you want to have, and you feel that no matter what you're trying to do, you're not getting the results, this training is for you. I'm really passionate about this because for the past 22 years, I've been helping people realign their habits, nourishment, mindset, and fitness to actually help them get results and maintain their results. And here is I'm going to be sharing with you today. There's actually going to be 3 reasons. There's more reasons, but the reason I want to focus on these 3, because if you're able to shift your focus regarding these 3 things I'm sharing with you right here, right now, today, it's going to transform everything else that you're going to be doing from this point forward. So make sure that you watch this training live. If you're here live, tell me hello right below. But as well, make sure you have a pad and a paper to write everything down. And if you love what is here, the key takeaways, make sure to comment right below to always get access to all the future trainings I'll be sharing. So let me give you a bit of an introduction. Who I am. My name is Dina. I'm a health and wellness coach. I actually was a registered dietitian for 21 years. And I know I created this shift to become really a coach and a mentor to add nourishment, as well with my NLP practitioner certificate, and as well as being a yoga and mindfulness teacher to really help people embody their best self. And it's not by changing who they are. It's actually by understanding what is blocking them, which is usually their beliefs, their thoughts, and their habits, to actually move forward and to help them get out of their own way. Because very often we do not see our blind spots. And my zone of genius is to have a bird's eye view from where my client is and where they want to go and help them get to that destination. And these 3 reasons I'm going to be sharing with you, they're going to be big aha moments. And they're really going to be transforming how you're going to be seeing all your actions, everything else. Let it be in your health. That's what we're talking about today. But in your life, in your relationship, in your business, it actually impacts everything. Because when you change one area of your life, it creates a snowball effect and a momentum to change other areas in your life as well. So let me look at this. Okay. Mistake number 1, which they're not in order. I'll show you. Number 3 is actually the biggest thing that is blocking you from your health goals. So let's start with the first one. The first one is, and I've been there, I'm ambitious, I'm determined, I want to get the results. And the mistake number 1 is that we go from 0 to 100 overnight. You know those moments, you're like, that's it, Monday, I'm starting. You write like a 20-part plan of everything that you're going to be doing regarding your food, regarding your fitness, regarding your mindset, regarding like the food you're going to take out of the house and everything you're going to be changing. You're expecting yourself to go from 0 to 100 overnight. But here is the thing. What that creates is actually overwhelm, because I'm sure already you have a full schedule and thinking of doing everything is really overwhelming. Number 2, you actually have to kind of start like shifting your whole day to fit all these activities in, which actually going to impact negatively your business and your other things. And number 3, it's exhausting. When you think of doing, let's say, nothing to doing everything overnight, you need to give time for your life, for your mind, for your body, for everything to actually adjust to the changes. And when you end up doing all the changes at the same time, nothing sticks. And this is not because you didn't try hard enough, you weren't disciplined enough, you didn't really put all these like time blocks in your schedule. Because the true way to actually create lasting results, it's what I call the domino effect. You have to think of how can you actually build on one habit and anchoring it in your day-to-day. And when we're actually able to create one habit and anchoring it, that actually boosts your confidence, your self-esteem to create change. And that habit that you're actually bringing into your day-to-day becomes a routine. And once you create one healthy habit, it creates a momentum of knocking all the other dominoes to help you get to your results. But if you're trying to do everything at the same time, you don't know where to start, you're doing it all, but that's the issue. You need to focus on one thing at a time. I know you're ambitious. I know you want to do it all. When you focus on doing it all, you end up doing nothing. So this is actually one of the things you really have to kind of refocus of giving yourself patience and love and compassion and going from 0 to 100 overnight. nobody is able to actually succeed when it comes to shifting your health. So that's number one I want to tell you. Number two, you go back to what worked before. But if it worked, it would still be working. Let that sink in. If something worked before, it didn't actually work if you're not able to maintain that they said, like the plan that you said. Let it be a coaching plan or a type of, diet, or maybe it was something you did like 20 years ago. You have to remember that you need to kind of look at your life right here, right now. Where's your body at? Your age, your hormones, your genetics. You have to look right here, right now. What is your lifestyle? What is your environment? You have to look right here, right now, what's going to work in the current reality. But if you go and take a plan that you maybe did like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and you're kind of forcing yourself to go for it, it's kind of like going back to an ex, hoping it's going to work this time. And it doesn't. If it didn't work once, it's not going to work if you try and push yourself more. And this is actually something I always share to my clients. I have clients that have been working with me actually for 15 years. It's like mind-boggling, loving seeing their whole transformation. And why do they keep coming and seeing me? Because they actually understand that they cannot keep doing the health plan that we built 5 years ago. They need to come back now because their life is different, their reality is different, and their body is different, especially as women. With menopause, hormonal changes, thyroid fluctuations, we actually have to shift the way that we nourish our body, we move our body, and we rest our body to our current reality. So it is normal to keep shifting and upgrading your healthy living. However, going back to something that's restrictive, that kind of worked 5 years ago, but it didn't last. It lasts maybe a few weeks, and you're like, oh, it was just the wrong time. I was just not right in the right mindset. That is not the thing. You don't need to be in the right mindset to create change. You actually have to find the right change that's going to help you stay in the right mindset. And here's the third one. I say that to all my clients when we first start working together. And there's so much hesitation around it, so much. The number one reason why you are not reaching your health goals is because you're relying so much on that number on the scale to dictate if you're reaching your health goals. If you're weighing yourself every day, if you're weighing yourself every week, and every time that you get on that scale, you're not able to be distant from it. If you let that number dictate if you had a good week or a bad week, it's going to be very hard to create change with your health goals and maintain your health goals. I know. You might be saying, but Dina, I want to lose weight. I gained weight. When I see the number going down, it motivates me. And I understand. However, there's so many other factors we need to look at regarding your weight. As women, with our hormones, our weight will fluctuate. You can have water retention. For example, if I have sushi one night, I will actually gain 4 pounds of water the next day. It's a water retention. But imagine if I didn't know that. I know how my body reacts. I know there's certain foods that are inflammatory to me. So sometimes out of curiosity, I weigh myself the next day and I was like, oh, wow, it went up 4 pounds. It makes me kind of see that it's just a number. It's not a reflection of who you are and the hard work that you're doing. There's bumps on the road that actually will impact your weight, the number on the scale. If you keep focusing on that number on the scale as well, it's counterproductive, because let's say you're doing the habit, the right aligned habit, the right way to nourish your body, and you're feeling good, you're feeling energized, you're sleeping better, your skin is clearing. And then you get on that scale and then nothing changed. What happens? You're like, it's not working. You quit. You let everything go. However, the one main thing we need to understand is that weight loss is not necessarily the goal to being healthy, because we can lose weight and not be healthy. Weight loss is actually just an extra bonus, an amazing bonus if you've been struggling with your weight for a long time, to help you kind of reach where you feel like in your body, release the weight that maybe you gained through emotional eating and stress eating, maybe that you gained through, COVID and all that stuff. That's why you need to step back and saying, okay, if we're not focusing on the number, we need to focus on other factors that are actually going to help you create that change and maintain that change. And the scale, as much as you might be saying it motivates you, it is number one reason why people get off their health plan. Because they're like, I'm doing all this work and the scale is not budging. But then when we work in coaching, when my clients work with me, how's your energy? How's your skin? How's your sleep? How's your digestion? How's everything? How's your confidence? Because you're able to kind of maintain the workout that you said you're going to be doing 3 times a week. It boosts your confidence. How can we actually create a shift to not focus on this one little thing that's actually counterproductive and focus on all the other benefits healthy living and healthy eating, healthy movement, healthy thinking is actually creating? Because it's all about momentum. Creating and reaching and maintaining your health goals is not an overnight thing. There's no miracle solution. If this is what you're seeking, I am not the coach for you. It is actually by understanding how can you eat, move, and think for the long term that makes you feel happy, energized, and activated, that by maintaining it, the regularity, the body will move if it wants to move. The clothing will feel different if that is something that your body is needing. But forcing that number to go down or that being the only factor of your success makes it so hard. You are more than just a number on the scale. Same thing if you own a business or even if you're working employee, the number that you actually get in your bank account or whatever you're making in, it's not who you are. It's a byproduct of your motivation, your education, your consistency, showing up, doing the work. There's so many other factors, but we don't only focus on that number. Same thing when we look at your weight. If you only focus on that number as a value of self-worth and that you're actually getting successful, is going to be a very, very, very hard and long journey. And life and your health journey, it is a journey of better understanding where you are right here, right now. Like I said, number one, not going from 0 to 100, understanding, okay, how can I actually create like habit stacking? How can I actually start creating one habit after the other, anchor it into my routine so that it's not a plan anymore, it's just a way of living. And that creates so much more change than expecting to do everything overnight, because it is quite exhausting. Remember, number two, going back to what worked before. Well, if it didn't last too long, what you did before, it's not going to work again now. And as well, and I tell that to my client, whatever we created together as a health plan 5 years ago might not actually work right now because their physical reality is so different. And we adapt. And I explain why we need to adapt. And then they're able to understand and adapt as we progress together. And remember, if you keep focusing on the number on the scale, the number on the scale will actually never create the happiness you're seeking, because weight loss as the only goal for being healthy, they don't really go hand in hand. Being healthy is one thing, changing the number on the scale is another thing. And being healthy is so much more than that, because it is about being energized, confident, feeling good, being able to kind of go work out, go hiking with your friends, being able to go to a meal, just eat your dinner and say, I'm full halfway through, and bringing stuff home, being able to have a good night's sleep, being able to better understand your body so you're not bloated every single morning when you wake up. This is what healthy living is. And when you're actually being able to shift your mindset, when you're able to shift your body, the way you're feeding it, and as well shifting in terms of your emotional response to how you're eating and the triggers that are around you that sometimes can lead to stress eating, emotional eating, creating really that body, mind, and soul transformation. This is what actually creates lasting healthy habits. Because being healthy is so much more than doing it overnight, than following what one person is sharing to all their followers. And a lot of the plans are like that out there. And it's not about the number on the scale, because healthy and weight loss or BMI are really, there's so many other factors around health. That's why I want to share this with you today, because right now, if you're watching this live, we are in the month of May. And there's all these ads about detoxing and, losing the weight and getting your body bikini ready. And I'm sure you might have tried those. Heck, I used to try those back in the day. But it's really understanding that if you really want to create and reach a health goal without overwhelm, without overexhausted, and actually get results, but being ready to stick to the plan, doing the hard stuff that are actually going to be creating the bigger impact, we need to kind of shift away from all that and get a personalized health plan. This is exactly what I do with my clients. Everything is personalized to help them create the change that they can maintain and they feel energized and healthy with. So with all this homework, I'll give you some homework actually. Number one, make sure you follow and subscribe. Make sure you also subscribe to my podcast and as well my YouTube channel, because I have weekly trainings that are actually going to be helping you, empowering you through all the knowledge that I have there, because it's really giving you everything I've got to make sure that you can create a change. Number two, if you're planning to go on a past diet or you kept all your books or you're like weighing yourself, sorry, I'm skipping. If you're always like going for those plans, put those aside. If they didn't work before, they're not going to be working now. And number three, the biggest homework, hide that scale. And by hiding that scale, write down what are 10 ways, 10 things beyond the scale that you are seeking by being healthy and taking care of your body, mind, and soul. That's it. Beyond the scale, look at other things that are healthy. And trust me, that's going to create so much liberation, because there isn't this external number dictating if you did a good job or not a good job. So I hope you enjoyed this training. If you know anybody who would benefit from this, make sure that you share it with them. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you comment right below. And always remember, I'm going to be having weekly trainings right here. Make sure you follow, subscribe. And again, if you want to know how we can build your personalized health plan together, all you have to do is send me a message. Dina Marabee here, and I wish you an energized and healthy day. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next training.